All right, good evening, good evening. Today is, what is today? Today is August 10th, 2026. The time is 6:34 p.m., and I would like to call the Cunningham Township Board meeting to order. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Wu. Here. Trustee Evans.
Here.
Trustee Hersey. Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee Cockrell.
Here.
Trustee Wilkin. Trustee Quisenberry.
Here.
Mayor Williams.
Here.
Supervisor Chenoweth.
Present.
Assessor Awana.
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all and welcome again. Next, we will have approval of the minutes, which there aren't any here listed, so we will move on to additions or changes to the agenda. Supervisor, the floor is yours.
Thank you. I just wanted to share that one item is not ready for action. That's the resolution authorizing the supervisor to sign a lease for the living room project. So we're still going back and forth. The closed session was related to that, and I don't have any additional substantive information since our last closed session. I tried really hard to be ready on time. It really has been, a lot of back and forth between parties in a short time frame. I will unfortunately need to ask for a special meeting. I don't do that very often, but in this case, to stay on track with the grant and the opening of October 1st, I will need a special meeting. I'll let the clerk know and the chair as soon as possible. I'm hoping for Monday, but it could be 2 weeks. I don't think it'll be longer than that. So I would encourage, unless you want a closed session, my recommendation is to remove D and E from the agenda tonight.
All right, thank you. Clerk?
I'll make a motion that we remove D and E.
Motion made by Wu, seconded by Jones. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. All right, thank you, Supervisor. Next, we will have public participation. If there are any members of the public wishing to speak to the Township Board, you may do so at this time. Seeing none, we will move on to Committee to Verify Bills. The Town Fund is up first. Supervisor, the floor is yours.
So first, I would just like to ask for a moment of silence for our HR consultant, Vasilia Clark. She has been a colleague for 25 years. She served as the Human Rights and Equity Officer here at the City of Urbana, the Personnel Director. She was one of the first people I called when I became the Township Supervisor because there was very little infrastructure. She's been our HR consultant for 9 years. She's helped me through a lot. She's been a personal mentor of mine and so many people in this community. She was part of Project 500. She helped to open up the university to hiring African Americans here in the community. She is a quiet, persistent, and profound leader. And we're very, very saddened at Township to lose her from this earth and wish her soul the best. So I'd like to just ask for a moment of silence for our dear Vasilia Clark. Thank you. I would like to direct you to the supervisor's memo, the town bills report for June 2026. We had $59,166.37 in the town fund expenditures. We had $330,084.75 in the general assistance fund. Our total expenditures were $389,251.12. The town bills are in your packet. I'm happy to answer any questions about them, and then I will speak a little bit about the supervisor's memo.
We can entertain a motion to approve the town bills as presented.
I will entertain a motion to present it altogether.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Great, so if you look in the supervisor's memo, I tried to put some spotlights at the top of the memo. The first is that we have applied for street outreach and housing navigation and workforce development services, kind of all under one umbrella from HUD. We applied to our local continuum of service providers, the homeless, for about $331,000, and today the continuum voted unanimously to support that amount, which was recommended by an independent jury of non-participating organizations within the continuum. Our next step is to apply to HUD. Those dollars, if received, would start late spring. The reason, of course, it's a big opportunity for us to expand our kind of rapid response team and in a way that is fairly sustainable, in that as much as HUD funding is sustainable, it is considered a 3-year renewable grant. So it typically is that once you're in the queue, you're considered a renewal grant, and those are prioritized over new programs. Our program very closely aligns with HUD desires for bonus point new proposals, in that it is it's doing street outreach, it's helping people move directly into independent housing, it's providing supportive services, and in particular, they're looking for relationships with law enforcement. We already have a long-standing established relationship with law enforcement that is collaborative through the CIT officers and being at that table. And there isn't a specific requirement for what that collaboration looks like, but more that there be a collaboration in place. I do believe that the HUD support for our CARES team could play a significant role in supporting alternative response to 911 calls. So I also want to flag, as we've been working, I've served on the task force with Dr. Cockrell and the mayor, that we've been looking, and Mary Alice Wu, been looking for how do we fund and support alternative response. And I think there's many slices to what that looks like, and I think Township plays one of those roles. So just wanted to share that that was an unexpected. There's been a lot of storms at HUD, and it's been unclear what's going to kind of shake out at the end, and it did end up that our existing program, which is very nascent and is the local funding will run out at the end of this calendar year, is very well positioned for this funding. The second thing is, I mentioned the living room project. We are on track, especially if we can move forward with the lease this month, but we were able to get all of our crisis residential services staff, certified recovery support specialists staff applied through the state process. And we've been told that even if they're not awarded, if the state is slow in awarding, as long as we've made that application, they've done their exams, et cetera, we're good to go. So feeling really good about the staffing, feeling pretty good about the location, which is not public yet, and we are traveling to visit a number of living rooms across the state. We're part of a statewide cohort. There's 5 of us who are working on that project from a leadership level, who are visiting different living rooms and really trying to learn best practices. One of the best living rooms is in East St. Louis, so we'll be visiting there. We'll also be going north and south. So really looking forward to that program. And then our strategic plan to end homelessness is the Continuum of Service Providers plan. We are the fiscal sponsor for that. We do have a draft plan, which I have linked and also given an email to make comments. I have asked the consultant if they would speak before our September meeting so that you all get a direct report on that plan and you can have input in that way as well. So, hoping that we can make a report in September. I'll only just highlight a few other things that are highlighted in the memo. We're up to 85 general assistance cases. We tend to bounce somewhere between 75 and 95. It's a little bit on the high side. We have expanded our help desk hours at the Urbana Free Library. We've expanded to 20 hours and included a Friday evening and a Saturday day, which is really important for working people. Our last month incoming calls for service, not including existing clients, reaching out to the direct line of their case managers is 1,950 calls. We did 97 rental assistance application process, up from 77 in June. That is very high. We did help 44 households. So 97 were processed and some of them are still in process, but for the month we helped 44. It does not mean that the others were denied. It means that many of them are still in process. Let's see, street outreach, we're up to serving 73, up from 52 individuals in June and 49 in May. That is a concerning number. We are narrowing our focus. We have narrowed, as of July 1, our street outreach team is focused on Urbana, trying to have much more of a presence. Anyone who would like street outreach wellness checks, we do not clear people from locations that are public. But we engage with participants experiencing homelessness or maybe in a public place disoriented, not necessarily understanding where they are. And so anyone can call our office at 217-384-4144, and we will send folks out. And we get regular calls from the community and have appreciated people's partnership in that way. We are back to 12 families on our priority list for shelter. We had come close to 0, but around this time of year, this is the time when we have the most number of homeless families, is usually going into the school year. We continue to have a doubled size family shelter with our 8 hard units and then our 8 expansion units funded by the Housing Authority. The Housing Authority has brought back sponsor-based vouchers. So folks who are in our program then can kind of graduate to vouchers. The Housing Authority recently changed their work requirement. You have to be working at least 30 hours a week. And for homeless families, it used to be a year to get in compliance. It's now 6 months. So we did a call through to all of our families who have ever received any vouchers from us. An intensive call through. I think we called 70 different households to make sure that they understand the new rules, that we could support them in addressing that, et cetera. So that was an important piece of information for them. Let's see. We have in our public winter emergency shelter, of the 18 clients we moved into transitional housing in June, we have 8 still in transitional housing, with 6 who are either, they've actually exited either last week or this week. So we will have 2 left by mid-August, which is really great. I'm really impressed with our team. We put a lot more intern power on that housing navigation work to expand our capacity, and that's just been great. We've had some great interns in addition to our case managers. Emergency housing, we continue to support residents that we've been supporting in emergency housing, and we are pivoting towards supporting women and gender nonconforming folks as Strides pivots to reduce the number of women's beds. They did a reduction to 14 cots recently, and they stay stable until we make a change in our programs. So we're working on building out that piece. We are seeing decreases in the number of the amount of days that people are waiting for shelter, family shelter, and also the number of days that they're in shelter. We watch those numbers closely to try to get them as low as possible. We are, let's see if there's anything else. We had a number of great events in July. Summer is really busy for us in terms of events. And then you can see the trainings that we had at the end and a great picture of our staff in case you'd like to see them. I'm happy to answer any questions about the supervisor's memo.
Thank you, Supervisor. Are there any questions? Mr. Evans?
Thank you. Just remind me again, Danielle, the Housing Authority is requiring 30 hours a week of work to qualify for a voucher now?
Yeah, the Move to Work program, it has always been 20 hours a week. And they've increased that to 30 hours a week as, in August.
Is the places of employment, are they provided, or, I mean, is there a list of employers able to take on folks so they can qualify for a voucher?
What I know is that the Housing Authority sent us a message this summer.
Okay.
And we immediately kicked into action to make sure that it wasn't just another email that got lost in the ether and people lost their vouchers. So the lane that we occupy is that we do have a workforce development program that was redesigned so that people could keep their SNAP and Medicaid. So it's a 20-hour-a-week guaranteed income program, regardless of family status, for Urbana residents who are out of work or making less than $600 a month. So that program remains, and then we walk alongside folks to work on getting either a second job or transition into full-time employment. So the piece that we can occupy for families and individuals in Urbana is our workforce development program, Careers in Motion. But we made sure every person who we have helped get a housing choice voucher or is, who basically is a person of age to be working, we called them individually and spoke to them, texted with them, sent out an email, et cetera, to make sure that they are aware of that. And I will say, to the Housing Authority's credit, most people were aware already, which we were pleased to see, but we always wanted to make sure, just in case.
All right, Mary Alice.
So just to follow up on that, do you know approximately how many people will have to shift their hours to expand their hours? And did they give any indication in terms of whether or not their employment would accommodate that?
You know, I would love to, I will follow up with the Housing Authority to ask them about that information. In terms of the folks that we called, the questions we asked were to check and see whether or not they met the requirement or if they needed to meet that requirement. So I can look at that data because we just finished the phone calls last week. Actually, I'm not sure if we're even done. We were very close to done. So I can certainly look and see how close folks were. Everyone who received a voucher from us, unless they opt out, receives an email from us, and every time we have our workforce development program opening or our partners have job opportunities, like a job fair, we typically send that out on our e-blast. I am not saying that that solves the problem. I'm just saying what it is that we do.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any more questions? Seeing none, we will move on. Thank you, Supervisor. Next, we have ordinance number 2026-09-001, an ordinance approving the revised annual budget and appropriation ordinance fiscal year 2025-2026.
Yeah, so the short version is what I say every year, which is that basically our budget, if there are so many different variations in the budget in the year, especially new income tends to be what we've been dealing with because we are expanding so much. Pretty much since the pandemic, we've had to come back at the end of the year and request a revised budget to close out that year because of changes. Again, almost always because of new grants that came in that you approved throughout the year. You approved those grant contracts, but in this last year, for example, Housing Authority, the winter bed expansion, and some of the funds from the city of Urbana for the winter shelter were all things that were unexpected income and therefore creates unexpected expenses. So what you'll see is essentially a revised annual budget and appropriation ordinance for the last year that just ended. And our request is it needs to be on file for 30 days. And so essentially we're asking you to put it on file. It isn't a final vote today, both for A and B. These are both simply public disclosure of those budgets so that the public can comment on them. And our final votes will be next month. But certainly you're welcome to ask any questions about them at any time, as is the public, so.
There are no questions. I entertain a motion.
I'll move that we place on file ordinance number 2026-09001, an ordinance approving the revised annual budget and appropriations ordinance for fiscal year 2025 to 2026.
Made by Woo, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Quisenberry. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Cockrell,
Yes.
Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, all that passes. Next, we have ordinance number 2026-09-002, an ordinance approving the annual budget and appropriation ordinance fiscal year 2026-2027.
I move.
So similarly, sorry, this is a similar thing. I just want to let you know that I put notes in the budget so you can see for the big changes, you can see why those changes happened. I think last year, the request was also making sure that last year's budget sat next to this year's budget so you could see the changes. So I made that the new budget. I'm a color person, so I put it in purple. That's how I live in rows and columns all day. So purple is the proposed budget. It is a draft. I'm still trying to decide whether to put the HUD dollars in. So I may make, that would probably be the only real significant change I might make between the draft and real, because I'm trying to figure out when is most likely that that budget will hit. And if I think it's gonna come this fiscal year, I'll go ahead and put that in. But this should be fairly close in terms of dollars. As you can see, we're looking at a slight deficit. We've been realizing surpluses for years, a slight deficit spending in a $6.5 million budget of about a little over $100,000.
All right. If there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, go for it. Yes.
Okay, I have two questions. The first one, Assessor Awana, thank you for the email regarding your employee. An H-1B, my understanding was that the employer has to pay the fees to file, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so how much are those fees now?
So I would need to go back and review specifically the transcript from when I had a virtual meeting with the representative we've been working with from Barnes and Thornburg, which is the law firm, but it's going to be somewhere in the ballpark of about $8,000 for Tanmay specifically.
And does that include the legal portion?
That was the total figures that they gave us at the time. I did not ask that question specifically, but I will go back and ask that of them specifically. And to be clear, this would be a cost that is based on the timeline that they gave us, once again for Tanmay specifically, since everybody's case is different, over the course of about 3 to 4 fiscal years.
Okay, so it would be good to have some of that additional information.
I can definitely get that from them.
All right, thank you. And then Danielle, I'm looking at the salaries. I'm assuming the jump from 152 to 231 has to do with some of the grants. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we brought in a $1.3 million living room grant that increases our staff from 20 staff to 17 staff, so 17 more staff, so 37 staff. So you're going to see a really big increase.
Okay, just wanted to confirm that. Thank you.
And just on the H-1B visa process, which I've also gone through in my office, for the record, I believe the H-1B actual visa cost is $3,500. It may have gone up a little bit since we did it, but in case that's helpful.
Thank you. I will move that we put, nope.
See how easy it is to do that?
I love it, I love it. James?
Yeah, I am curious about the H-1B process, because we've gone through several of those. I know at this point in time, is this position considered one of the positions that the additional penalty fee, whatever the $100,000 amount applies to, that the current administration has instantiated?
I honestly don't know what you're referencing.
It may not be. I mean, that applies to specific positions, but it would be good to know that it is the type of work that is not in that group. That is currently being challenged legally, like so many things that happen today in our world, and hopefully we'll be successful. But that is the price to have an H-1B and it depends on whether it fits one of the categories that has been penalized
Would
like
you,
that.
would you mind saying again what, what either document
I
or
can,
bill you're
I can send
referencing?
you some information
That
about
would
that.
be fantastic, thank you.
And then I would say, I don't know what our process is going to look like, but we typically expect the process to be $7,000 to $10,000 from essentially beginning to end, unless you want to proceed to a green card process, which is another expense and another timeline on top of it. But you can get to that if we get to that. So,
Sure.
yeah, I'll send you what I got on that.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Dr. Stephanie.
I just want to understand, and it maybe have been clearly explained and I missed it. I want to understand the June 30th ending amount and the July 1st difference amount. It's like a difference of $190,000 from the June 30th ending and the FY27 start. Is that money that carried over from the ending to the
Are
new?
you, are you looking at the ordinance approving the annual budget that has the like beginning balance? What
Yeah.
was received, expenses and ending balance?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and you're looking for our fiscal year 26 to 27?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we do is we take the balance sheet as of July 1st, and then we estimate, we obviously have our budget, this is how much we're gonna estimate in the town fund, this is what we estimate we'll spend in the general assistance fund. Then we have our expenses, so that also comes straight out of our budget. And then the ending balance is basically a math problem of like, here's our beginning balance, here's how much we brought in, here's how much we spent, and here's what the ending balance should be. So unless it was an error calculation in my Excel file, that math should line up.
If I'm looking at it wrong, I'll go back and redo it, but I was looking at it earlier today and trying to figure out what the difference was, but
You mean between the beginning balance and ending balance?
the ending balance and the beginning, yes,
So I think the difference should be the same amount as the 122,245. Like when you look at the budget, income and expenses, we expect to basically spend $122,245 more than our income. And the difference between the beginning balance and the ending balance should be that, which a rough calculation is it's close. I mean, I'd have to do the math. But so essentially, that should match. Like, if we are deficit spending by 122,000, we should have $122,000 less than when we started the year at the end. So we'll see a decrease. And so, yeah, I mean, if I do the math, it's probably very close. It's close or should be spot on, but I can double check those numbers.
okay, thank you.
All right, is there any further questions? All right. All right, so I will now entertain a motion.
All right, and this motion is to put it on file, correct? All right, I move that we put ordinance number 2026-09002, an ordinance approving the annual budget and appropriation ordinance for fiscal year 2026 to 2027 on file.
Motion made by Wu, is there a second? Seconded by Jones, is there any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Cockrell, Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and that passes and will be put on the file. Thank you. Next and last, we have resolution number 2026-08-018R, a resolution certifying one question adopted at the 2026 annual town meeting for the November 3rd, 2026 general election. Supervisor?
This is actually me as
Oh,
the
clerk.
township clerk.
All right.
So I am just going to go ahead and briefly summarize the memo that I included in your packet as well, just for the public record, because we only do this once a year, only in years that we actually receive one. So on February 17th, 2026, a resident filed a petition with the clerk's office for an advisory referenda question of public policy to be reviewed by the electorate at the annual town meeting on April 14th, 2026. The electorate meaning not this town board, but the registered voters of Cunningham Township as the governing body of the annual town meeting. The petition is available for public inspection in the clerk's office. The question was placed on the agenda notice to the public, and a copy of that notice agenda is attached in the meeting packet this evening. At the April 14th, 2026 meeting, the electorate authorized the question be placed on the ballot at the next regularly scheduled general election in the township, which will be this November, and it did pass with a majority. So this evening, the town board, acting as the governing body of the township, is to formally certify the advisory referenda question of public policy in the form of a certified resolution. Following that, a copy of the certificate and resolution are going to be filed by me with the county clerk as our local election authority, and it will then appear on the ballot within Cunningham Township at the November 3rd election.
All right, is there any questions for the clerk, Mary Alice?
Yeah, so just to make sure that I have the correct understanding here. So this question is something not written by the township board, by somebody within the community. And our role here is to certify that the process was correctly followed. Is that correct?
That is completely correct, yes. It is not yes or no on the question, it is yes or no on the process being executed correctly.
All right, thank you.
All right, James.
To take that question a little bit further, we essentially have no choice in this process. We are required to certify this question that was chosen by the town to be placed on the ballot through the rightful process that's established. And we're only agreeing that we understand that process was done correctly, and we have no reason to believe that it wasn't. So there are no other options here.
That is also correct.
Thank you.
Is there any further questions? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
I will move resolution number 2026-08019R, resolution authorizing the supervisor, sorry, my bad. I will move resolution number 2026-08018R, a resolution certifying one question adopted at the 2026 annual town meeting for the November 3rd, 2026 general election.
A second.
Motion made by Wu, seconded by Jones. Any further discussion? Seeing none, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Wu,
Yes.
Trustee Evans,
Yes.
Trustee Jones,
Yes.
Trustee Cockrell, Trustee Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and that passes. With no further business before this body, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, Supervisor. Thank you, Mr. Sasser. We appreciate you all. Have a good one. All right, we will now move on to the Urbana, the Urbana City Council. We will take a quick 5-minute break just to give folks a chance to transition in and out, and we'll come back to the Urbana City Council. Thank you.
large room. There's a large room? Yeah, well, it doesn't look like a large room.
All right, good evening, good evening. It is Monday, August 10th, 2026. The time is 7:13 p.m. The Urbana City Council meeting will come to order. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Wu?
Here?
Councilmember Evans?
Here.
Councilmember Hersey? Councilmember Jones?
Here.
Councilmember Cockrell?
Here.
Councilmember Wilkin? Councilmember Quisenberry?
Here.
Mayor Williams?
Here.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. We have quorum. We may move on. We will now consider approval for the minutes from previous meetings of June 15, 2026, Committee of the Whole, June 22nd, 2026, City Council meeting, and July 6th, Special City Council meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Moved by Wu. Is there a second? Second by Jones. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. Minutes stand approved. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, the agenda stands as presented. We will now move to presentations and public input. Any members of the public wishing to speak to council, please do so at this time. Step to the mic, state your name and city for the record. Seeing and hearing none, is there any emails? All right, we're off to a good start. Presentations? Seeing none, we will move on now to council input and communications. Any members of the council wishing to speak? Mary Alice.
Thank you. So some people might have noticed that they received an updated assessment to their property if they own a piece of property. And individuals have up until September 10th to appeal. There's a whole bunch of different items that you have to do in order to do that, including providing evidence in terms of why you would like your house to be assessed at a different value. And the big thing is you can't do it online. You have to print it out and mail it or go in person. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else? I will say thank you to our community. We had our Kids Biz event this past Sunday, yesterday. We had 30 youth entrepreneurs out there yesterday, which was, the largest turnout that we've had thus far to date. So it was very exciting, pretty cool just to see the excitement in the kids' eyes. So that was a fun time. So thank you to the community. Also, as mentioned earlier, I do want to extend on behalf of the City of Urbana Urbana. Condolences to the family of Vasilia Clark. She was absolutely a legend within our city. She put in a lot of work. She's been a mentor to many. I know I appreciated her input and advice, over the last couple years for sure, in regards to my journey to this point. So just extend, again, condolences and prayers and thoughts to the family. And last for me, I will say just this coming Wednesday at 11 a.m., we have our annual State of the City Address, which will be held at the Fire Station number 3 on Bradley. I hope to see community members there, folks who have been wondering what's been going on over the last year and couple of months. Now's your time to be engaged, be informed, and I'm excited, looking forward to sharing just what we've been up to, and I think the community will be pleased. So that's all I have. Before we move on, are there any other comments? All right. We will now hear reports of standing committees, which there aren't any, so we will move on now to the Committee of the Whole. Councilmember Wu, the floor is yours.
Thank you. On behalf of the Committee of the Whole, I move approval of Resolution Number 2026-08044R, a resolution approving an increase in the number of liquor licenses in the Class A designation for A+ Drift Karaoke LLC, doing business as A+ Karaoke at 214 West Main Street, Urbana.
All right, I'll move, entertain a motion to approve.
That's my motion. I just need a second.
Sorry, you just, a second, thank you, second. I'll entertain second. Is there, motion made by Mary Alice, is there a second? Jesus, criminy, sorry about that. Anyone? Second?
I'll second.
All right. Motion made by Mary Alice, seconded by Chris. Any further discussion? All right. Go ahead. No? All right. All those in favor
That's final
We
action.
gotta, yeah, we gotta do roll call.
for that one? All right. So, no further discussion. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Wu,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
I am going to use my right to abstain from this vote due to my religious beliefs.
City Attorney. My understanding was abstentions are only for conflicts of interest, which have to be financially related. Is a religious exemption applicable for an abstention vote?
That's something I'd have to look at the rules more closely, but we do have an overarching, procedural rule about procedural rules that states that it does not impact the outcome of the item if we do utilize a procedure
your
that's not
mic on?
consistent with our rules. What's that?
Is your mic on?
The light's on at least, yeah.
Okay. Councilmember Cockrell,
Yes.
Councilmember Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. All right, and that passes. Thank you for that. All right, whoop.
On behalf of the Committee of the Whole, I move approval for Resolution Number 2026-08045R, resolution approving an increase in the number of liquor licenses in the Class INC designation for the Old Shipyard doing LLC, doing business as the Old Shipyard at 204 West Main Street, Urbana.
All right, motion made by Mary Alice. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right, motion made by Wu, seconded by Chris. Is there any discussion? Go ahead.
Yeah, so due to my religious beliefs as a Muslim, I will not vote yes on this either. But I won't vote no because I believe that this is the best area to have something like this. As I stated last week, it will drive people who do drink to downtown to visit these establishments and build a nightlife that is possible for our downtown. All I ask in return is that places of business also provide fun, non-alcoholic options so that all of our Urbana residents may come and enjoy these spaces. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilmember Wu,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
I abstain.
Councilmember Cockrell,
Yes.
Councilmember Quisenberry.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, and that passes. Thank you all. All right, thank you, Councilmember Wu. We will now hear reports of special committee, which there aren't any, and we will move on now. Reports of officers. Are there any reports? All right, nothing now. We will move on to mayoral appointments. Let me see here. All of the bios, as mentioned, previously, are included in the packet. So we have a few. One, we'll start with Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission. Peyton Perry, Park District Representative, with the term ending June 30th, 2029. And I will entertain a motion to approve this appointment. Moved by Jones. Second?
Second.
Second by Cockrell. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Cockrell?
Yes.
Councilmember Quisenberry?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. That is approved. That is approved. Thank you all. I am so sorry. I am fumbling this tonight. All right. Now we will move to Building Safety Code Board of Appeals. First, we have David Huber with the term ending June 30th, 2029, and Brian Mattson with the term ending June 30th, 2029. I'll entertain a motion to approve these appointments.
So moved.
Moved by Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, seconded by Cockrell. All right. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Cockrell?
Yes.
Councilmember Quisenberry?
Yes.
Thank you.
Those appointments are approved. Thank you all. All right, next, we have the Civilian Police Review Board. First, we have Kavika Smith with the term ending June 30th, 2029. This time, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move approval.
Second.
Motion made by Wu, seconded by Jones. All right, and at this time, clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Cockrell?
Yes.
Councilmember Quisenberry?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that appointment is approved. Mr. Smith is in the audience. Looking forward to working alongside you, and congratulations. All right. We will now, I heard the snaps. All right. We will now consider entering into closed session pursuant to ILCS 120-2C2 for the purpose of discussing collective bargaining negotiations. I'll entertain a motion to enter into closed session.
I'll move that we go into closed section based on what the mayor just stated.
All right. Is there a second?
I second.
All right. Motion made by Wu, seconded by Jones. Voice vote. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilmember Wu?
Yes.
Councilmember Evans?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Cockrell?
Yes.
Councilmember Quisenberry?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. We will now move to closed session. Thank you.
For the audience watching at home and for any members of the public, there are no further items of business on the agenda. Council will come back into chambers to motion to enter open session, but that will be followed by an immediate adjournment. So there will be no further action items this evening.
Okay.
So you don't have a conflict of interest.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to come back from closed session.
I'll
Clerk, will you
make a
call the?
motion that we come back from closed session.
Motion made by Wu, seconded by Jones. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilmember Wu,
Yes.
Councilmember Evans.
Yes.
Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Councilmember Cockrell.
Yes.
Councilmember Quisenberry.
Yes.
Okay, and also very briefly, now that we are back in open session, I do have a correction from the attorney that I just want to briefly read onto the record. In regards to the abstention vote for non-conflict of interest pursuant to City Code Section 2-30C2, it states that if an abstention vote is for a reason other than a conflict of interest, it is to be recorded by the clerk as an abstention, but deemed by the mayor as having the practical effect of going with the majority. So the earlier abstention will be recorded as an abstention, and it will also fall with the majority for passage of the ordinance resolutions.
Thank you. All right, with no further business before this body, this meeting is adjourned. Have a great night.